Welcome to Joe Stunner Boxing. A little bit of news for you if you haven't heard already. Chris Eubank Jr. and CONOR BENN are scheduled to fight again on September the 20th. This has been confirmed by Turki Alalshikh. It was, I think it was revealed on X via Ring Magazine, that their Twitter account, whatever they're called nowadays. Boxing News also had an article. Boxing News being the trade paper. Best boxing magazine in the world, bar none, including the Ring. But they also carried this story. It will be promoted. The rematch will be promoted by Seller. I don't even know who Seller are. Is it a Saudi promotional company? I don't know. Boxer, which is Ben Shalom, Eubank's promoter, and Matchroom, which of course is Ben's promoter. And predictably, the question is, where's it going to be? What's the venue? Well, it will be in London. But Hearn has said that even though they're contracted to use the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, as they did in the first fight, they may switch to Wembley Stadium, which has bigger capacity, 90,000. And of course, the first fight was so successful, such a commercial money spinner, that, they're going to squeeze as many bodies as they can into one arena. Can't say I blame them for that. The fight will be at £160. So all the rigmarole, the arduous weight making that Chris Eubank Jr. faced for the first fight, he's going to have to do it all again. And I think, loosely put, could you say that even now in the first fight, Eubank looking weight drained? He was weight drained. Come on, let's be realistic. He was way below his natural safe weight. But CONOR BENN, of course, moving up. He was the much smaller man, but it was a brilliant fight. So let's hope that Eubank Jr. can make the weight safely, because I'll tell you this, when I heard that this is going to be at the £160 limit, my mind went back to the two fights that Eubank Sr. had with Michael Watson. Watson struggled to make weight at 160 for some time. He was coming off a bad battering, a real grueling, grinding shellacking from Mike McCallum, where he was knocked out in the 11th. Was it the 11th round or 12th round? I think it was the 11th. And then he had two struggles to make weight against Eubank Sr., and we know what happened in the rematch. Watson was very, very seriously injured, ended up with life-changing injuries, and still needs 24/7 care. He's got a carer, a very devoted carer who looks after him. I don't want to sound like the harbinger of doom or anything, but every time you struggle to make weight badly and you have a very arduous fight, it takes something out of you, neurologically primarily, of course, although physically as well. It can decrease your punch resistance. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. It's very bad on the body, but the brain, when you drain all that fluid off the brain that the brain sits in, and you don't get a proper time to replenish, yeah. I just hope we don't have anything horrific happen in this rematch. But the rematch will take place in London, like I say, quite possibly at Wembley. And of course, Eddie Hearn has been, doing his usual spin. He says, I think the second fight will be much better. They're not going to change. They're not going to come out from the first bell and just carry on like it's the 13. They're going to come out like it's the 13th round of the first fight, he said. And when you see a fight like that, for me, the automatic thing to do is to do a rematch. I can't really disagree with that. The fight was always going to be two fights, but sometimes a fight's one-sided or it ends early and there isn't really the appetite for a rematch. Another point that's validly made. I think here, now with Conor having that activity, which is something that was lacking from the first fight as well, we really fancy our chances. This is the royal we from Eddie Hearn. You're not shipping any punches, mate. He is. But I take his point. He's part of the team. He says, we know the weight's a disadvantage, and that showed a little bit in the first fight, but fans can just expect a continuation of the 12th round, and it will be another toe-to-toe war. Weight's a disadvantage for CONOR BENN. Size is a disadvantage for Conor Benn. I agree with that, but weight isn't necessarily. Ben can come in at, I don't know, 154, for example, 155, being as fit as a fiddle, compared to a Eubank who is going to probably be weight drained again. So if anything, the weight is an advantage for Ben. The disadvantage is the size, potentially the size. So Hearn is wrong on that score, in my opinion. But look, this fight is going to take place September the 20th in London, probably at Wembley. What do you think? What are your opinions? Do you think there should even be a rematch? Do you think safety measures are being neglected? I wouldn't dismiss that argument entirely, but let me know what you think, and just give me any opinions you got. You're going to pay for it, no doubt it'll be behind a paywall. Of course it will. Both fighters are probably going to make more than they did in the first fight, but I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what you think. What is your opinion? Leave your comments below. I shall read them. Thank you for watching the video. Please do hit the like button if you don't mind, because it helps us out a great deal, and also hit the subscribe button because you are helping the channel out, and it is your channel as much as mine. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a nice weekend, and bye for now.